Welcome to another episode of the Online Prosperity Experience podcast. You're about to hear your host, Prosper Taravinga's powerful digital marketing strategies and actionable tactics that you can use right now. Prosper has helped more than 50,000 people from over 10 countries to create meaningful businesses that are profitable and enjoyable. Listen to this podcast so that you too can build your own business with less stress and overwhelm. Let's get started.
Do you hate the way marketing makes you feel? If you shift your marketing mindset, this can actually make the biggest difference in your ability to market your business. And in this podcast, I'm going to be giving you 5 marketing mindset shifts that will actually make you love marketing. You see, a lot of people come to me and they're like, I don't want to do marketing. I hate marketing. Do you actually hate the way maybe sales and marketing copy or social media posts actually make you feel? Do they feel salesy, inauthentic, hypey, or just plain, what do you call it? Icky. You see, I hear this a lot of times, mostly when I do my client consultation calls, and they're just like, I'm just looking for somebody who can do it for me. I don't want to be involved in marketing and things like that. You see, you're not alone. There's a reason you feel that way, and it's because, the traditional marketing and the traditional sales, especially the copy, was designed to be cutthroat. And, there's a difference between authentic speaking to your ideal audience and just, that, salesy type of stuff, which taps into fear. All right. But you don't have to use fear. You can actually sell and market your business, using love instead. And, when you do that, you actually stop manipulating and twisting arms just to get people to buy from you. And instead, you actually start attracting the right kind of people with the right kind of pain. And you're inspiring them. And you actually invite them to become your ideal clients so you can create a business that's profitable and enjoyable. Doesn't that just sound wonderful? You see, I hear this a lot of times when I speak to a lot of coaching and consulting clients. I don't want to do marketing. It just feels icky. And these coaches and consultants, they want to have a business. They want to find clients. And obviously, they want to make money, but they don't want to market their business. And, if this is you, I urge you to keep listening, because I want you to learn how marketing actually helps you to do more of what you love. Can you imagine for a second, I'm actually marketing right now and I'm working, and I want you to learn the marketing mindset shift that actually can help you change your mind around marketing. You see, half of the marketing that should be happening in the work that you're doing should never be felt, should never be seen. It should just be experienced by the people that you intend to be obviously demanding money off of a little bit later on. So if you're passionate about doing the work that you're meant to be doing and living an inspired life while you're actually doing this, then you're in the right place, my friend. Congratulations, you have joined the upper echelons of what we call ourselves Internet Explorers, because my mission is just to help inspired coaches and consultants like yourself, my Internet Explorer friend, to build a brand that you're proud of and create a lifestyle that you absolutely love. And wouldn't it be nice if you actually love the marketing that you're putting out there? So I'm hoping I can shift your marketing mindset so that you can actually start making the biggest difference in your ability to market your business. That way you can get the right clients, you can clarify your message, and you can literally be out there helping your clients be, do, and have a happier existence. All right? I understand. Maybe to you, marketing is cold calling potential clients and they're hanging up on you because they don't know you. And they don't owe you any bit of their time. Or maybe you think marketing is sending out hundreds of emails and you're obviously not getting any, hey, thank you so much for reaching out. you know. And you might think that maybe marketing is wasting thousands of dollars on ad spend without even generating any qualified leads with nothing to show for it. And now you feel like nobody wants to buy what you're selling. And maybe you actually rely on your business to pay rent and put food on the table, and it's now putting an enormous strain on your emotions, and you are actually now hating marketing, not simply because of what it is that is happening out there, but simply because of how you're doing it, your mindset around the actual processes, the actions that you're taking that are not being reciprocated with the marketplace that you are enacting them on. So when I hear people telling me they hate marketing, what I'm hearing is they are not being authentic. What I'm hearing is they're just spraying and praying with their marketing. Because if you're genuinely helping people with their health, with their wealth, with their relationships, I want to ask you a question. Who are you to stop yourself from reaching out to Sally or to John or to Nick, who is going through health problems, who's going through wealth problems, who's going through relationship problems, by not reaching out to them just simply because you think marketing is bad? So you want to stop somebody from having a happier existence just because you're doing something wrong and you're not taking full responsibility or accountability on your marketing mistakes, because you're just doing random acts of marketing out there. And now you've decided, I'm not going to do marketing just simply because you're not doing it right. When I hear that somebody doesn't want to market their business, I usually ask them, so how do you plan to find these clients? How do you plan to help people do and have a happier existence? Are you that selfish? Because the thing is, listen, marketing actually helps you find clients, and marketing is part of having a business. All right. So as a coach or consultant who wants to actually get paid for the work that you're doing, you also have to become a business owner. And marketing is the responsibility of running a business, just like managing your books and doing your taxes. I mean, as an entrepreneur, marketing is just one small aspect of running a successful business. You go from hiring new staff, like I mentioned, balancing your books and driving growth, and a lot more things that demand your attention. And it all feels like a constant balancing act where you're pulled in multiple different directions all at once. And at the end of the day, you as a coach or consultant, your real goal is just to help your clients. You want to spend as much time as possible changing people's lives and solving people's problems. And you don't want to waste countless hours each day trying to navigate the whole world of online marketing or digital marketing. And you certainly don't want to spend yet another minute on the phone having to beg people to hire your services. Let me tell you something, you don't have to. You see, I don't. And I still have a long list of clients of people who want to work with me. Not because I'm a genius, and not because I'm a master of persuasion or anything. No. It's because I follow a simple system which actually works. So when I hear people saying, I don't like marketing, when people say they don't want to market their business, they're just literally saying, I don't want to market my business in a sleazy, spammy way. All right? Because when they see other people in their industry, they see them as salesy, inauthentic, hypey, or just plain icky. When people say they don't want to market their business, they're just really saying, I don't know how to market my business, or even I'm uncomfortable with marketing my business. But how are you going to help Sally? How are you going to help John with his health, with his wealth, and maybe his relationships? How are people going to know about your consulting, your training, your information, your expertise, and how are they going to hire you to speak at their gigs if you're not marketing yourself? So the magic question is, if you don't want to market your business, why? Why don't you want to market your business? Why? Have you ever asked yourself that? Why? You need to understand the real reason why you hate marketing. Because you are actually thinking of it as an activity, as an act, as an end goal. I'm sitting here in my office talking to you right now. You could be listening to this instantly Or you could be listening to this after a year, I've created it. Or you could be listening to it after 10 years, I've created it. That's marketing. I'm planting a seed. I'm communicating with you. I'm generating a lead. And I'm generating the trust, the confidence that will then, get you to say, hey, I want to work with you. And guess what? If you decide to work with me, we'll work hands-on with you and develop a strategic plan and then deep dive, work through your ideal client clarity. Because if you're clear on who you're supposed to be marketing to, it makes it super, super easy for you to actually reach out to those people and start communicating with them. And if you know what to say to them when you reach that audience, voila. So that's when we'll work with you on your strategic messaging. And if you know what to sell them, when you have figured out that part, those are your consulting offers. I want to ask you a question. What could you do with more demand for your services than you possibly could handle? What would you do? Would you raise your prices? Would you fire lousy clients that just came in because you were desperate? Or would you only choose to work with people that you love? Would you expand your business? Let me tell you something, man. Every coach, consultant, or small business owner dreams of that perfect customer that arrives from seemingly nowhere, already convinced they want to buy. And that inevitably fails. Half of the time because we're not marketing ourselves. You know what we do? Sometimes we just build a website, post a few memes on social media, and then we wait. That's not marketing. Because without a steady demand and an excess of buyers, you have to accept the work that comes your way at any price that just wins the jobs and at any terms that the buyer is giving you. How do you get potential ideal clients to come to you instead, of you trying to find them if you're not going to be marketing your business? Let me tell you something. If you work with me and we're marketing together and we're working together, I'll teach you how to actually earn trust before your sales process begins, how to design a self-guided path for your customer engagement, how to build maybe a sales funnel that actually fills itself and respond effectively to the best opportunities for your business. And you actually learn how to market your service business in the most intentional way possible. That way you grow profitable sales. And we've got a framework that will actually guide your decisions and maintain your confidence while you're offering the help to the right people at the right time for the right money. Then guess what? You can actually ignore 90% of everything any marketing guru is trying to teach you out there, which is now overwhelming you. It's time for you to start learning the 10% that actually matters for businesses like yours. You need to understand the real reason why you hate marketing. You see, when I speak to a lot of prospective clients, why they hate marketing, some of the responses that I usually get are things like, oh, I hate social media. Oh, I don't want to spend time doing that. Oh, I'm not comfortable with that. Or, I only want to attract a small number of people that I can handle. All marketing is shady or manipulative or it's gross. Does any of this sound familiar? Do you sometimes feel like this? Because when you get down to the reason behind why you don't want to market your business, we can actually address that reason. And then we find a way to market your business that actually works for you. Now, wouldn't it be nice for you to be providing for your loved ones? Wouldn't it be nice for you to actually have a business that's profitable and enjoyable? Wouldn't it be nice for you to literally, create for and relate to your audience and absolutely love what it is that you're doing? So that people will definitely be tripping, stumbling, and falling for your coaching, your training, your information, your expertise, and anything else that you've got on the table today. Are you still with me? Because if you are, I'm about to give you the 5 marketing mindset shifts that will actually change how you think about marketing. Think about it in this way. You listening to me right now, you've been listening to me for almost 15 minutes. I'm marketing to you right now. Can you believe that? Does it feel like marketing, or do you feel like you're sprechen Sie to your old-time friend? And there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing right now. Does it feel pressured, or do you actually feel like you're learning? You're taking down copious amounts of notes? It's not about forcing yourself to market. That obviously doesn't feel good. It's about using the techniques that you actually, enjoy. It's not about you just trying to trick people into, giving you money or whatever it is. And if you use strategies that you're not good at, you're not going to be consistent in doing that. The reason why I show up every single day at 12 p.m. AEST is because I love talking, and I actually come here and snitch on what my clients or prospects or calls or people that I would have dealt with, and that now creates content for me. All right. And my team then takes this, edits this up, puts it into a blog, and now we're going to start a newsletter. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be involved in all of that stuff. I just create the content through this podcast, and then they disseminate it the way they feel like, in a way that also helps generate leads. So I know that I'm consistent in the way that I'm creating this content. It's not about being somebody else or trying to be manipulative. No, it's about you being of value, you being the one person who can handhold your clients. That way they can have a happier existence, and you can now become the preferred supplier or the most obvious choice when the time comes for them to want to work with you. You just want to stay top of mind without you being manipulative. And if you've got a consistent way of doing your marketing, each and every offering you put out there becomes a gift. It no longer becomes, not you again. Authentic marketing is about finding a way to share about yourself and your offerings that actually feels good, that feels authentic, that connects with those that you serve. If you are actually listening, I actually put out an offer to you. Subliminally, now I can work with you to develop your strategic plan, to find your ideal clients, to, clarify your message, and to actually put out your offers out there. And subliminally, you already know that I can help you set up your marketing engine and lead generation system so you can constantly attract your ideal clients. But I don't have to keep repeating that all the time. You know what I mean? So before we run out of tape, let's explore those 5 marketing mindsets that can actually change the way you're thinking about marketing. Are you ready? And also, I want you to promise me one thing. If you have been listening to my podcast and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I mean, obviously, you are now this far ahead. I think this is episode number 46 in season number 5. And you've been listening to me all this while. Just subscribe, because information like this, I'm never going to repeat it ever again. Even I listen to my podcast in the morning, because, where else am I going to get splendid marketing ideas? So here's marketing mindset shift number 1. If people don't like social media like I do, it don't mean you don't need to participate. Okay, I'm not even on social media. I used to be very, very proficient on social media. Not anymore. So if you don't like the way social media has become, I hear you. But it doesn't mean your business cannot be on social media, because that's where most of our clients are. And you know what the good news is? The good news is marketing is way, 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 way more than social media. Look at us right now. I've got your attention, don't I? I mean, if I didn't, you probably wouldn't be listening up until this point. But I believe you're hearing me now. High five to you. It's way more than social media. You might have gotten the link to this podcast through social media or through email, or you literally got a notification that I put out an episode. I mean, it can seem like you need to be on social media 24/7 to grow your business these days, but that simply isn't the case. I'm doing this podcast once, and like I mentioned earlier on, you're probably listening to it a year later or 10 years later. I only did it once, and I didn't even need to even log into some sort of social media for you to listen to me right about now. Here are a few reminders about social media. Like, seriously, you don't have to be on any platform you don't want to be on. All right. You're a creator. You don't necessarily need to be on a platform where you're consuming. You don't have to engage with people you don't want to engage with. You don't have to show up and post every single day. You are dealing and fighting with an algorithm. That's AI. You're never going to win that race. It's a race to the bottom. And if you want to win that race, you're going to be burnt out. You're going to be depleted. And when your customers then show up at your door, you're not going to have anything to offer them. I mean, you can create a strategy that actually works for you. You know what I mean? Even if you do maybe choose to use social media, I mean, it's only one component of a whole marketing, toolbox that you can use. Because a good marketing strategy includes a variety of tactics that you can actually bring you business and develop a system that attracts, nurtures, and actually converts prospects into clients. Picture this. Maybe you're listening to this podcast right now, and from this podcast there's going to be a link for you to maybe subscribe to download an ebook, and from that ebook you can actually start learning a little bit about how we help you have a business that's profitable and enjoyable. None of that would have involved any social media interaction, except maybe you want to check us out a little bit more. Yes, there will be a couple of posts here and there, but we're not relying on that as a channel. So you don't necessarily need to like, comment, and tweet and share just to stay relevant. Okay? And one other thing that you need to know, this is my mindset shift number 2. When you say, I don't want to spend my time marketing. Listen, I get it. It can feel like you're spending all your time marketing, especially in the early stages of your business. But let me tell you something. Some people want to avoid marketing, entirely, or maybe hire it out. And, while you absolutely can hire it out, I mean, that's the reason why we're here. I do recommend that you get clear on the basics on your marketing strategy. Who are you marketing to? Maybe your niche. What are you, marketing them? What is your actual service? What is your actual offering? What are your consulting offers? You know what I mean? And what is your value proposition? Have you clarified your message at least? Because if you're then hiring it out to somebody else and then you expect them to figure it out for you, 9 times out of 10, they're going to just do what they think is best, but usually it's not going to be in your best interest. All right? Because if you're intending to create a business that's profitable and enjoyable, at least you should know a thing or two about it. I mean, this is because your brand is an extension of who you are. And so whoever you hire to do your marketing will also just be acting as an extension of your brand. As to the, do I have to spend all my time marketing question? No, you don't. But you do have to spend time in the beginning to build that brand awareness, to test out your marketing strategies, find out what's actually working, what's working, you keep, what's not working, you ditch. And once you've got that solid marketing strategy and you got the systems in place, then you can find somebody who can do it cheaper, better, faster, without you having to be involved all the time. But you have to know who you're marketing to, what your message is, and what your offers are. And once you know, then it's easy to just pass it on to somebody else. Here's another shift, number 3, where people are saying, I'm not just comfortable with marketing. This is actually one of my favorite responses. You know why? Because it's something that you can change. And, when you do it, it will actually dramatically change how you run your business in a very good way. When people think about marketing, they think about putting their faces out there, going live, taking selfies, sharing personal stories. I mean, it's important to remember that you always have a choice to share what you're comfortable with or not. Who's the boss of your business? Who's the boss of you? You see, but in order for people to know that you exist, you need to feel comfortable putting yourself out there as a coach or consultant, or a small business owner that you are, all right? But you don't necessarily have to show us everything that's happening in your life, go on lives and things of that nature. I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to, automatically become an extrovert or be 100% confident 100% of the time, always on. It's unrealistic. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you need to be comfortable, with yourself, or if you're going through stuff, you need to be sharing all that stuff. No. You need to be confident in the value that you're providing to your clients and be obviously, willing to help them when they show up. After all, you want to be there where your customers are searching. And maybe if you don't show up, how will they know that you exist? You just need to do enough, for you to put yourself out there, and you can do it the way I'm doing it. This is not like active. This is passive. I record this show, and then it comes to you at a time when it comes to you. And if you learn from it, good on you. If you don't, we're moving on with our lives. Because if you're going to be on live, you're going to be expecting people to show up. You're going to be expecting people to like, comment, all that junk. Just getting comfortable with being seen and heard is something that I actually support, my clients with, our, visibility coaching programs. Yes, you need to be seen and you need to be heard, but you do it in your own terms. You don't necessarily have to be like a whack-a-mole type scenario. And mindset shift number 4 is I only want to attract X amount of people or this kind of people. Let me tell you something. Maybe you only want 5 clients and you want them to be maybe long-term engagements. Maybe you can't choose what the market wants, all right? So, it's not a reason to avoid marketing, all right? Maybe you don't want a mass market. There are reasons to embrace what's called niche marketing. You need to kiss a few frogs to find the right princes. All right. So you want to tailor your marketing efforts to a specific segment of the population. But how are you going to find those people if you're not showing up and actually finding out the people that you don't want? Marketing is a game of elimination. All right. You eliminate that which you don't want, and then you latch onto that which you want. Because once you've tapped into your, right niche and what it is that you want, then let me tell you something. You will now be able to scale your business because you know the right kind of people with the right kind of pain and the right needs that you can service. So you need to build an audience. Then you can start eliminating, from those people, which ones are the best that you want to work with. But it's all from experience. You don't just look at a person and already know you can't work with them. Last but not least, people think marketing is manipulative. Look at this. This is 25 minutes in. Have I even twisted your arm to do anything yet? No, I'm marketing right now. We are exchanging marketing energy. You are listening. I'm giving value. You're also thinking in the process. I secretly love this objection to marketing that, hey, it's all manipulative. You're doing it wrong. Once in a while, I'll come across somebody who cannot bring themselves to do something, like maybe create a freebie for their newsletter, because they consider it's manipulating people, I don't want to grab people's email addresses for this little amount of value. Think of it this way. You're in business. A business transaction is an exchange of value for money. So if you're offering a freebie in exchange for value, which maybe could be somebody's email address, it actually allows you the privilege of being in their inbox. This is the permission that you are asking for. So the way for this to not feel manipulative is for you to provide so much value that the people will be happily, will happily enter the email address because they just want what you're offering. Providing value is being of service to your ideal clients. And it's important to remember that, your prospective client is choosing to engage with you. It is a gift. It is a choice that somebody wants to do business with you. And it's always their choice to unfollow or unsubscribe at any given moment. All right. So the way to love marketing is just to focus on being authentic. All right. And authentic marketing is when you share who you really are in business. When I come up on this podcast, this is me. This is as raw as it gets. And this means not lying, not overblowing your credentials, not making any promises that you can't keep, not making any fake sales tactics, not playing on people's weaknesses or emotions, things of that nature. Authentic marketing means showing up in alignment with who you really are. I love speaking on podcasts. That's why you get a podcast from me every single day. And you want to be truthful in any of the sales and marketing content that you put out there because you're going to get caught out. We are the most documented generation, and the reason why I work so hard is because I know my kids are going to Google me later on in life when I start telling them, oh, I was the number 1 podcast, marketing podcast in this year, and they'll just look it up, so you will be caught out. You just want to focus on activities that actually play to your natural strengths so that you're consistent in them, right? If you listen to this podcast, you know my energy, my thoughts, everything. I put my all in this, and maybe you will see a video of me and you're like, it doesn't really connect because I'm not really good on video, but I'm really good on podcasts. So you want to provide value and truly serve your audience. Every time somebody comes to me, I'm like, fantastic content is about to come out of this call. So when you show up, sharing the value that you provide and inviting your ideal clients into offerings that can serve them, that is true and authentic marketing. You are doing people a service by literally selling to them because you're helping them with their health, with their wealth, and their relationships, which will then in turn help them have a happier existence. Right. So if you want to, take advantage of, really honing into your marketing, I invite you to schedule a call with me. Okay. When you come your way here, we will work hands on. And I'll help you develop a strategic plan, and then we'll deep dive and work through your ideal client clarity. Because if you're clear on who you're selling to, it makes it super easy for you to reach out and talk to them. And, once we've done your ideal client clarity, we can then, work on your strategic messaging and look at your consulting or coaching offers and your pricing, and then also look at your business model optimization to actually see if it is actually working in your favor. And then pretty much once all that is in place, I'll help you set up your marketing engine and lead generation system so you can constantly attract your ideal clients, right? I hope you're going to shift your marketing mindset because it will make the biggest difference to your ability to market your business. And I want that once that is in play, you have a business that's profitable and enjoyable. And like I said, this is my mission to actually help coaches and consultants like you build a brand that you're proud of, and you can create a lifestyle that you absolutely love. Now, wouldn't that be nice? Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, let's continue the conversation in the Live Long Digital community. Become a Live Long Digital community member today. This community is for ambitious entrepreneurs and small business owners with the drive to take control of the future of their businesses and achieve huge success without stress and overwhelm. As you heard, Prosper can help you by teaching you marketing strategies that work. So look no further than the Live Long Digital community of entrepreneurs and highly successful business owners. Join our community today. Find us on www.community.livelongdigital.com.au. Network with other driven entrepreneurs and find the expert guidance you need to take your business to the next level. www.community.livelongdigital.com.au